wanted to just show you a couple of things just to see if you would be interested in it, but also to let you know what to look out for when you go to school. Now, they're going to call this coding. Coding is computer programming or STEM. It's called by three names: coding or code, STEM, computer programming. So let's say four names. This is the jobs that you get building things like websites. So if we come to Panera, this is a website. And you use coding or STEM or computer program or coding to build websites, right? Now when you get to school, if you haven't used this already, it's called Our Code. And they're going to call this coding or STEM. It's not, right? It's drag and drop. And mom, I want you to know that yeah, this is fun to get kids excited about the ideal of coding, but no jobs are hiring for this. So to me, this is not coding, right? It could be what they call computer science. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but I don't even consider it computer science. Now, what I want to show you is one of the languages that we start off learning first to build websites. And so this language is called HTML, right? So let me type it out for you really quick. HTML. It's the first language I teach my students. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language, right? And that's because we're going to mark up our page. So think of this as a Google browser or a Microsoft, Essentials or Firefox or something like that, or Microsoft Essentials, something like that, right? Now this is the language that we're going to use. It's a written language, just like we write in English and we speak in English. Like we have a verbal and a written language, but coding just has a written language, right? So this is called HTML. These are called HTML tags, right? Each tag starts with the opening and angle bracket, and it ends with the opening angle bracket. And then inside of it, we're giving the browser, because we're talking to this browser, instructions, right? So each one of these means start a new HTML tag, because we're talking to this browser. And I'm going to show you, because everything we type, let me see. Everything we type, look what I type. When I hit run, see, it's over here, because the browser, Google is a browser, it's reading this code as we write it. It's called real time, right? So I'm saying start a new HTML tag. What type of tag is it? Pretend like we're talking to the browser. So the browser is like, what type of tag is it? Well, browser, I'm telling you the document type that we're using, or the computer programming language, or the code that we're using, is the document type is HTML. So we're telling the browser, hey, we're using HTML. Now I'm saying I'm finished with this tag, because you have to talk to the browser just like I'm talking to you in a language that you understand. The browser understands this language. I'm finished with this HTML, and if there's nothing else written behind me, drop down and read the next line. And once it finished reading this line, it'll drop down and read this and this and this. This is how you teach the browser how to read or think, right? And so this says start HTML. That's an opening tag because it doesn't have any backslashes in it. And this is a closing HTML. So I'm saying start HTML here. Use HTML all the way down until I tell you to switch to another computer programming language. And stop HTML here. We have what's called a head tag because the browser is like a human. Computer programming is designed after a human. Coding, STEM, computer programming is designed after a human. Just like a human, we have the head section. We're going to see that in the code in a minute. And we have the body section. Anything in the head means we're thinking, right? We don't show that to the users who come to our website. But anything that's on our body, like clothes, people get to see, right? Show that to the customer. So what I'm going to do is show you that this is the head section. So I'm saying to the browser, anything in between here and here is a private conversation between me and you don't show it to anybody. So if I were to type something and hit run, you won't see it anywhere over here because we're talking behind the scenes. The browser sees it, but it knows not to show it to you. right? So hit run. But anything between the body, just like a human, when we put on clothes, we can see it. So when I hit that, there it is. Show that to the user. Now, this is called a H1 or a header tag. So when you put your first H1, it's rules to everything. So your first H1 tells Google what type of business you are. What's the name of your business, right? So Google sends software to everybody's website to gather information about it so that when I'm looking for bakeries, it knows that I'm looking for bakeries and it'll show me a list of bakeries. If I'm looking for a new car, it knows to send me to the section with all the new cars and stuff like that. So we can put the name of the company right here. So if I come back and type that in there and you go ahead and hit run, you can see it. Anytime you want to write a paragraph, you use the paragraph tags, right? So if we come here, let's just copy this right here and paste that in between. So you want it in between the opening and closing inner HTML angle brackets, right? So in between there, paste it right there, hit run, and you will see it. If you want, you can put your name in here. Just make sure you don't delete anything, right? Or you're going to get this red. It's warning you that you made a mistake somewhere. So just be careful not to delete that. Now don't forget that each opening angle bracket says start a new HTML tag, and the browser's like, okay, talk to me. What type of HTML tag is it? Well, it's an image tag. Now we have to give the browser information how to go and find the image. So if I wanted you to send me a picture of your graduation through the mail, you need my address, right? So the mailman or the mailwoman knows exactly where to bring the picture. We have to give the browser a source, a location of the image, a URL address. Everything that has to do with programming, if you really pay attention to it, the naming scheme of it is named after the things that we do, how we communicate, interact, and behave, right? So you would go online, find an image that you like, and I just went into Panera menu, images, PNG. That just means give me a clear image with no background, like no green in the back or anything like that. And I went into image. Now I'm in Google Chrome and I think that's the best place to be. If you were to right click on that image, right? Any image you want, first of all, click on it to put it up here. Then right click it. Now I want you to go down to address, not copy image, copy address. We need the URL address. So copy that. Just click it. Come back here. And in between the double quotation marks, right? You don't want to delete anything. Remember, if you delete anything, you've broken your code. That's what that means. And you just want to paste it in there. As long as you don't delete anything, just paste it, hit run, and there's your image. That's how you put an image on there. So when you want to start to design your website, you use these HTML tags to tell the browser what to do. Like if I wanted you, and I speak to you verbally and say, go pick up that cup, I'm going to say, go hand me that cup, or put that cup there, or hold up that picture, right? And I can say that verbally, but this is how we tell the browser to show me a picture, you know. Now, if you want another image, all you got to do is make sure you don't erase anything up there. Come up underneath it. My keyboard is broke, so, well, not broke, but my battery died. And you want to open angle bracket, type in image, space, src, equal, double quotation, and closing angle bracket. Now I'm going to copy this and just do it a couple more times so I don't have to type it again. Right? And this depends on how many pictures you want. Now all I got to do is go find more pictures. And I like the ones with the clear background. What should I put first? Okay. So let me right click that, copy that, Right click, remember URL address, copy image address because we want the URL address. And just paste that in there. And when you stretch it out, there you go. Now let's go grab something else. Let's grab this. Ooh, let's grab the drinks. And right click, copy image address. Come back, open that up. Paste it in the next image. Just make sure I don't delete anything. And there you go. So hopefully you enjoy that. But what I want you to know is this is not coding. You cannot get a job doing this. This is computer programming, coding, really STEM. You have to learn how to read and write code, not drag and drop. No money here, moolah here. Okay?